Welcome to another Milepost of the V-Twin Life. We talk motorcycles powered by those V-Twins, why we enjoy it, what they mean to us, and just why we enjoy the open road. V-Twin Life is brought to you by crsh also known as Crash Inc. on the World Wide Web. Man, Brad has sold a lot of stuff. You want to get some merchandise, you want to get parts, you want to upgrade stuff on your bike. He is a dealer for a lot of great companies, so check out crsh and see what they got for you. Now, we got Wild Ass. You want to add some comfort to your ass? Man, Wild Ass has got you covered. They've got something you like. Use that promo code DWoods. Get yourself free shipping and put that ass in comfort. Can't forget Custom Dynamics, leading the world in LED lighting and LED technology. Man, these got some great stuff. You want to light up your life at nighttime? You want to be seen during the day? Hey, check out Custom Dynamics. Can't forget Lexan. These guys got some great comm units. I just got the new G16s. Man, you want to talk quality? These things are awesome. Loudspeakers, plus they got some air pumps, small ones you keep in your bike. They're ready to go. So check out Lexan. So now, let's get to another milepost of the V-Twin Life. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the V-Twin Life. We're here, milepost 154 with the infamous Dr. Harley, man. What's going on, buddy? Thanks for coming and hanging out tonight.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Make a little announcement. All the guys, we've always had that. I'm going to have to redo the video because, of course, we were talking about, you heard the blurb with Lexan, which found out kind of shitty deal, word of mouth, that they're closed now and they are no longer in freaking business. So, rest in peace to Lexan, but I love their stuff. So hopefully we'll figure something else out and we'll get a spot filled. We also got a big shout out to the Metier Motorcyles Lawyers. These guys are the lawyers that ride. So, hey, anybody, you're Washington, Oregon, Colorado, you get in an accident, need some help, dude, get a hold of Metier because they are the lawyers that ride. And they have actually been to a show with them, got to meet him. Patrick, the attorney, is an awesome dude. He does do a lot of riding. So, it's been a great company to get linked up with and hang out with. But so let's get into this one, man. So when did you start riding? When did you come into motorcycles?
Oh, a long time ago, back in 1986. My first motorcycle was a 76 KZ 400.
Oh, yes.
It was my mom, who was anti me getting a motorcycle, said to me when I was 15 years old, if you want a motorcycle, get a job, save the money. If you can afford to buy it, you can have it. So I said, okay. So I lied about my age at 15, got a job, pumping gas at a gas station. Yeah, back then used to have gas pumpers. Saved the money, and I bought my first motorcycle. I came home with it on my 16th birthday, and my mom lost it. She's like, what are you doing with that? You can't have that. I said, you said if I saved my money, I could buy one, and I just paid cash.
Nice. How long did you keep that one?
Quite a few years. I got in a lot of trouble with it. I look at my mom on a Saturday morning and say, hey, I'm going for a ride. She goes, don't be out late. 10 o'clock at night, find a payphone, call her. I won't be home tonight. I'm up in Canada. The hell are you doing up there? I got on a bike and I went for a ride.
Oh, Jesus.
I would get in all sorts of trouble like that with her.
Sounds like that's kind of when the bug started for you then.
Oh, absolutely. Well, before that, because one of the prominent MCs that's worldwide, I was the local president's paper boy. And one morning he asked me, how's business? I says, well, it'd be great if everybody paid their paper bill. And he's like, all right, who isn't paying? Take me to him. So I did. So he proceeded to, what's the best way to put it? Aggressively knocking on the door.
There you go.
Opens up his door. He's got his cut on. And he says, you owe money, pay him. Don't forget the tip and be ahead. I made so much money that day, I didn't know what to do. And at the end of the day, I said, thank you very much. For some reason, something told me give him a kickback. I gave him a little bit of kickback. He looked at me, he says, I'm not taking that. He says, but good job. And at that point, I said, man, I want to be a biker. At 7 years old.
Yeah, somebody have those moments that just, something sparks and it's like, hey, this could, could be something.
Yep. Great dude. Love him to death. He's gone. Rest in peace. But
yeah, some of the ones, that you get the little memories of individuals you get to meet and back time that really spark something that, you get those moments you don't forget.
Exactly.
So what came after the KZ? What really got you going and wanting to pursue more? Was there an event or something that you found that you liked that just really
I just found I
kept
loved
you going?
motorcycles. After I got tired of getting held up or robbed at the gas station, I ended up getting a job at Bridgeport Kawasaki. And I was slinging parts and for them, 17 years old, I'm slinging parts. And I got tired of doing that. And I ended up working for Bill's Harley-Davidson in Bridgeport. And Bill took me under his wing. He remembered me when I worked next door at the Amoco gas station, and took me under his wing and made me a runner. I couldn't be a mechanic or anything because I wasn't 18, but I could be a parts runner for all the mechanics. So I was doing that. And on my 18th birthday, he says, come here. I said, what's up, Bill? Now think of the late 80s, what Harley shops were like. They weren't like they are now. Maybe 2 or 3 different design dealer t-shirts, maybe a half a dozen bikes in there, and mostly service. He says, your 18th birthday today. I says, absolutely. He goes, good. You're officially a mechanic. There's an FXR over there. Rebuild the front end. Okay. So I go over there and I take the forks off. I grab my wrench and I start taking the top cap off. I'm like, yeah, I'm a mechanic. Yeah. That spring came out and beat me right in the head. I had a knot that was bleeding. They laughed. I laugh about it now. And he looked at me and says, here's your first lesson. Read the manual. I'm cleaning up the conversation. And read the manual. Next time, read the shop manual before you take on any job. Okay. So
there's a little bit of force behind those springs.
A little bit. So, then I stayed with him until I left for the Army. Did 10 years active duty and left active duty and got back to Connecticut, started riding motorcycles again.
Well, thank you for your service.
Oh, it's a great job. I got to fix and fly on helicopters. It's a horrible job. It's a horrible job. Take off on a Friday evening for drill weekend and come back Sunday evening and, put the aircraft away and spent all the weekend in the air going places. Go from Connecticut to Fort Drum, New York, or down to Fort Bragg, North Carolina. During a 2-week training, went to Guantanamo Bay. Another time we went out to Montana from Connecticut. So flown all over the place.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. I know everybody who went to Sturgis who saw Mount Rushmore. I've flown right past Mount Rushmore, about 2,000 feet off the face of it, and about 1,500 feet up. So I was basically looking at the president's eye to eye. I seen
definitely different perspective. That would be something cool, though.
I seen Mount Rushmore. Most of Americans or most people will never see.
That's a fact. That would be pretty cool, really.
I tell you, it was a humbling experience to do it and see it, at that perspective.
Yeah. How many times have you done Sturgis?
Once.
Once?
Once. I rode out there in 2010 on my 93 Softail with a Badlander seat, 18-inch apes, and that was a bad idea. I spent all week. Well, I spent the first 3 days bent over peeing blood because I bruised my kidneys, and the next 3 days I was able to walk somewhat upright. Did no riding when I was out there, and when I left, I sat there and says, "Okay, I'm going to ship the bike home and I'm going to fly home." And I said, "Nope, I need the bike Sunday morning because I'm a prospect for a club." So I jumped on the bike and I left Sturgis, South Dakota at roughly about 11:30 in the morning. And I was in the coast of Milford, Connecticut, Sunday morning at 7 a.m.
Covering some ground.
Yeah, the only time I stopped was for gas and bathroom. Now, when I was at the gas station, it was either a Red Bull or a protein drink. It kept going.
Moving and grooving. Gas and go.
That's it.
Make time for sure.
Yeah. Well, allegedly hitting triple digits most of the way. Allegedly.
Yeah. There's no proof.
Yeah.
So what made you want to get into the YouTube side of doing things?
Oh, it's funny is because I used to be a really big fan of John Maxwell, and I'm still a big fan of Professional Monkey and Her Two Wheels and all that. When John Maxwell started his shop, he said he's going to have more time for YouTube, bring out better videos, do more videos. I'm sitting there going, "No, you won't." Love you, John, but you won't. And I used to watch him religiously. Every Wednesday at noon, he dropped a new video.
I remember watching a lot of his channels and remember when he got his new shop down there.
Yep.
Everybody going to visit and all that good stuff.
I've watched every episode he put out. Whether it had value to me or not, I was a fan, and I'd watch every episode he did. I never got a chance to meet him. I would love to meet him. And then once he stopped doing it, I'm like, you know what? He had 250,000 subscribers. So there's a need and a want for what he does. So I said, maybe I could do that. You know, I work on bikes myself. I could show that. I says, let's see how to start. So I reached out to Professional Monkey. Only knew me from comments and side chats. And at that point, that's all he knew about me. And I said to him, "Hey, I'm thinking about starting my own channel. What do you recommend for a camera?" And he said, "GoPro. For starting out, GoPro." I said, "Okay." So I went out and I went on Amazon and I was looking at GoPros, and it recommended this other camera for, $100. I'm like, "Hey, I'm buying that $100 camera," which I did use for maybe about 4 or 5 months. Then I says, I need the GoPros because this sucks. It looked like an old camcorder with the flip screen, and
Yeah.
And so I ordered the GoPros, and then it grew from there. Her Two Wheels, she told me she used what did she use for editing? Because I asked her one of those Apple programs, and I'm not an Apple person. So
I know the one that comes with all of them, you got iMovie. A lot of people, it seems to use when people are starting off because it's fairly user friendly.
But if you don't have an Apple, Apple,
Yep.
So I found that Windows has a video editor built into it, which isn't that great. I used that in the beginning. And then I found a program that I liked a lot. I'm still trying to learn DaVinci Resolve, and John, with all his tutorial videos on Creator Reality, it's doing the best I can. I still can't put a video together that I like.
Yeah, that's the hard part. It's some of that's like, I have all kinds of ideas, stuff I want to do. It's just the editing and trying to put it together and be happy with the end result.
Yeah. I have this great vision of how I want this video to be, and not even close.
That's, the challenge of it, trying to get out what, putting it out. And I don't know, I've gone down that rabbit hole watching so many different, creators explaining stuff. They always say, your first 25, 50 videos aren't going to be the greatest. He goes, but you're going to evolve and you're going to grow, and everybody starts somewhere. And that's just the biggest thing, is just taking that plunge.
Yeah. And, at first I got into YouTube. I says, they're getting all these free products. They're making all this money. That'd be awesome. I like free products and I like to make money. Then I come to find out, once I got into it, I started meeting people and getting along. I says, look, man, YouTube is more about the community than the free products and making the money. And so I've really enjoyed the community aspect of it, and the friends I've made along the way that people consider family, like Kelpfire and Factlide, Droop, Guns and Baggers, just to name a few. Professional Monkey, God, me and him gotten tore up together so bad. He doesn't remember drinking Jaeger cold brew with me one night, and we drank half a liter together.
No, it is. It's like, I've said it so many times. I don't do this for money. I do this because it's fun meeting other people that have that passion.
Yep.
But the end game is the friendships that I have been able to make with everybody. That's
Exactly.
the reward.
Brian's another good friend I made out of YouTube. I've asked Brian for advice, and help, and he's a great friend to have to help you out. Corey and I, we hang out a lot with Rhodey. We go riding a lot and hang out together. Now we're planning an epic road trip to get all of us going down to Tennessee for Smoky Mountain Bike Week. So,
nice.
Yeah, 800 plus miles one way we're going to spend on the road together. Building that friendships and those bonds.
How long is that event?
I'm sorry?
How long is that event?
That event goes from the 26th of September to October 7th. We're going to be we're leaving on the 26th of September, and we're going to be leaving Tennessee on the 30th of September.
All right.
I got to meet Jack at TMMR last year. He drove up, hung out with us, and we had a great time hanging out with HDAV Traveler. Great dude. Awesome dude.
Yeah, that's the fun of it. You do this, you get a lot of, HT Traveler, and, there's a lot of these guys, Droop, Kelpfire, a lot of them are always Evil Rick.
Tiger Ward.
Always here hanging out in the side chat, supporting everything, which is just awesome that, everybody enjoys hanging out, and you get a lot of stuff and then going on the side chat, which is a lot of fun, the interaction, but it's just, I still find it crazy, just, something I decide I want to try to do to meet other people, and it's still, people enjoy it, almost 4 years later, still having fun and still hanging out. And it's
I mean, look,
cool.
I mentioned John, it's like Beetlejuice. Now he pops in.
Yeah.
Hey, John. But
what kind of projects you got going on in your shop right now?
I just did an ultra cool oil cooler for Big Mike 135. He is truly a brother from another mother for me. He came down. We did change his oil, motor, primary. And before we filled the oil up, we changed out his oil filter to the ultra cool oil filter, which is a cartridge type. And he got an extra cartridge. So when I change his oil again, we put a nice clean cartridge in there, and I'll clean the old one, and we'll have that ready for his next oil change. And we put the ultra cool oil cooler in, so it will help his 135 cool down. That's one of the problems he has with it, is when he's sitting in traffic, it overheats. And with the Thunder Max, the engine temperature management system is disabled. It's not an option with Thunder Max. So we're doing everything we can to help this thing stay cool sitting in traffic.
Yeah, that's the big thing with them. These aren't like the water cooler. You get the fans, you got the radiator, everything trying to help cool your motor. The air cool. It's a whole different ball game. And like wife and I, we were coming back from Montana, hit some horrible traffic in Idaho, 100 plus degrees, and you got the heat coming off the asphalt and the interstate, and you're creeping along a fucking 3 miles an hour. It's like, fuck.
You're baking.
Yeah.
You're baking.
Oh yeah. That's why we decided, it's like, screw this. We were, considering pushing for home. It's like, no, we stopped in Coeur d'Alene. Actually stopped at Buffalo Wild Wings just to get a cold beverage and sit in some AC, and then we're got, start looking Google's, hey, there's a hotel with a killer rate about 1 hour away, and they got a pool. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, or
We'll
you
just
just
stay there.
traffic, knock on the window of the person next to you and say, hey, how do you like your biker? Rear, medium rear? Because we're almost that well done at this point.
Yeah, it was freaking hot. Yeah, that's the only, the downside. Some, in Washington, you can't, and Idaho, there's no lane splitting, no lane sharing. So you're kind of stuck there. You can roll the gauntlet, hit the old motorcycle lane on the shoulder, but when it's congested and traffic's one lane, you're kind of hosed.
Yeah. Well, there's no lane splitting or filtering here in Connecticut. I can't say I have or I have not done such things, nor go down the breakdown lane.
Yeah, I might have hit the breakdown lane a time or two in different places.
Yep. I got pulled over once by a state cop for going down the breakdown lane, and she was very kind, and she let me go with a verbal warning. But that stopped me for maybe about a week or two, and then I went back to doing it. Now I just keep an eye out for the cops. A lot sharper.
Well, I did that once. Amy and I were coming back, it was 2 years ago from Sturgis. And traffic was like an 8-mile backup, where we live up in 101 on the peninsula. And I'm like, piss on this. I mean, it was hot. We had the trailer, our little trailer behind the bike, and we'd hit the side road, hop in the motorcycle lane, and, being safe about it, about 15 miles an hour. And we made up about 5 miles. And all of a sudden the state patrol was sitting on the shoulder waiting and read me the riot act, how me and my friends have been doing this all day, and he's getting called. And I said, dude, we've been on the road for 13 days. So me and my friends, no, sorry, partner. Not my friends, but I told him, dude, it's hot as hell. This is an air cooled bike. It's not water cooled. He's to pull it over and park and sit there for a while. No, I want to get through this shit. But he was kind of a dick for a bit, but I mean, he didn't write me a ticket. He just, read me a fucking riot act. And it's like, whatever.
I'll take the riot act over a ticket any day of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife chimed. Yeah, we were stopped in Ritzville. It was like 100, and figured, hey, the pool, it's got to be probably 80 degrees because it's hot as hell in Eastern Washington. It's like they literally had just refueled it. I got into my waist and said, fuck, that's deep enough. Mm-hmm. It was fucking cold. So, yeah. It cooled me off enough being up to my waist. I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, right on. It's the right way to do things.
Yeah. She just wanted to sit there and make fun of me. Like, whatever.
It happens. It happens.
That's right. Go halfway in, you enjoy a cold beer, and life's good.
That's it. Or, Bri, don't adjust your screen. This is not Dunkin' Donuts.
Still waiting for that, wait for that big sponsorship with Bri. Be part of, get the CEO reach out. It could be part of their new chief marketing development of Dunkin' Donuts.
Funny story about that is when Mel and I went to New York to adopt a cat, on the way back, there was a Jeep that had the Dunkin' Donuts and the orange and yellow, I think the D's were. And Mel's like, oh, you got to take a picture, send it to Bri. So we did. And he's like, I wonder how many points I need to get that.
I can just imagine, Road Rally comment and get the, Dunkin' Donuts wrap on his nice gold wing.
Ooh,
be the new spokesman. Could be the new rolling billboard. I mean, they won't hear him coming, but, they might see him going down the highway.
Hey, they pay for those rolling billboards. Why not have Bri on his gold wing?
That's right. He can cruise the East Coast.
Absolutely. All over New Jersey.
Dunkin' them donuts.
Mm-hmm.
Getting his cold brew on.
Hey. Rather him be drinking a cold brew and riding than drinking other beverages and riding.
This is true. We'll say, man, I do like iced coffee, especially when it's hot.
Absolutely.
So besides going down for the Smoky Mountain event, you got much more going on?
Well, we'll be at the Indian Larry block party.
Oh, nice.
Apparently, this year's the last year. Last year was supposed to be the last year. They say that almost every year. It's all because of the property ownership that the place Indian Larry's is at. But we're going back down again September 20th. We're going to be there. East Coasting's going to be there. And of course, Thrashing will be out there with East Coasting. And I met V-Rider there last year for the first time. And of course, Tanya and Eric from their podcast will be out there. And, you know, it's just a great time out there. You know, Jay from Left Lane will be there. Corey and Rodeo coming down with me. Maybe Brian from the Ride Life podcast will be there. So
That'd be a cool event. I mean, he was such an icon into the building and, you know, keeping the old school tradition and values of motorcycling.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't look at any build in the past 20 years and not see any Indian Larry influence on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm building a chopper now to benefit homeless veterans, and I'm sitting there going, that's something Indian Larry would have done. You know?
Yeah. He built some amazing pieces of iron.
Absolutely. You could still buy an Indian Larry frame and all the accessories. Are coming out with new push rod collars. I saw that was I saw on Instagram they're coming out with some new collars lately. So, you know, Indian Larry, even though he is gone, his legacy and his business is still growing. And that's always nice.
Which is cool to see.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure once Paul Tuttle leaves, OCC will be a thing of the past.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, since the whole chopper thing died off, and then, you know, I've heard stories, all the, you know, the fallout of the company, but it's never been the same.
No, I mean, the last bike that they built literally was that you can ride was the Black Widow.
And that's it. Their bikes are more of a showpiece or something to sit into, you know,
corporate America.
I don't want to say a museum, but, you know, somebody's shop somewhere. To me, there's no practicality of them.
Right.
Sure, they might look cool. They got some crazy builds, but it's not something that, you know, for, you know, myself, I want to get something, you know, if I'm going to buy a new bike or have some built, it's going to be something that's going to serve a purpose because I'm going to go enjoy it and ride the hell out of it. And those just don't fit my style.
Yeah. I mean, the chopper I'm building, it's a rigid with a Springer front end, as God intended as a chopper to be, with an open primary, coffin tank. And it's not something you could take and ride for any amount of time. But it's the type of bike that you could ride to a bike night or a bar hopper. But the reason behind the build is I'm building it all off of donations. I'm giving it to Homes for the Brave, which is a veterans organization that helps homeless veterans get into a home and get a job, that they could raffle it off, raise some money, and help some other more homeless veterans.
No, that's freaking cool. That's an amazing cause, and some, you know, I like to see a lot of people try to get behind and, you know, help support that. That's pretty damn cool.
And you'd be surprised how, you know, they gave me all their paperwork. So if anybody donated anything, let's take a company, for instance, major motor builder. You know, I approached them and they said, hey, we'd love to help you out, but we say no to everybody. And I respect that. I really do. But let's say you manufactured a part, right? And it cost you $10 to make that part, and you sell it for $130. You could take that paperwork and legally write off on your charitable donations on your taxes the full retail price of that part.
Yeah.
I mean, Deadbeat Custom stepped up and sent me stuff. Lowbrow Custom stepped up and sent me stuff. Sanity Jewelry stepped up and sent me stuff.
I mean, these guys, Lowbrow Customs,
Yes.
they are good. They're some good
Yeah.
dudes.
Yep, they sent me some stuff. Sanity Jewelry sent me a total of 18 knives. I raffled those off on my lives to raise money, and all that money went into buying parts for the chopper. I personally donated Springer front end and the coffin tank. Moto Noggin donated the rolling chassis. Another member donated a Evo motor. So, you know, we've about 80% there getting this bike done. Now it's getting the finer parts. Like I need a new front wheel, need a wiring harness, which I'm going to end up making my own. I found a schematic that's easy enough for me to follow. I can make my own wiring harness, but I need forward controls. I need an exhaust for it. I need to rebuild the 5-speed transmission I have, but I got to get an output shaft bearing and seals for it. Once that's done and I get the whole bike mocked up, Corey's come down and helped me out with some welding. Actually, all the welding we've done on it. Once all the mock-up is done, I can take the bike apart, bring it to my powder coater, and he's donating the powder and his time for this build. Of course, he's going to get the paperwork. He went and ordered all the powder directly from Bugatti. So the frame, the tank, the oil tank, the fenders, parts of the motor, parts of the open primary and front end are going to be a Bugatti metallic blue. And not the light blue it's the dark midnight blue.
Look pretty good.
Yep. The seat, I'm going to do a fake ostrich hide. Big reason being, if I use real ostrich hide, I want it that milk chocolate brown. If once that gets dirty and turns black, you'll never get it back to that milk chocolate brown. So we're going to use the fake stuff so it always stays that color. So I think that color combination, the milk chocolate brown seat on a dark metallic blue color with chrome, it's going to be phenomenal.
You do like a LaPera style seat?
I don't know. I'm going to make my own seat. I took the chopper to a company here in Connecticut. They're all about helping and donating a seat and everything. They had the bike or chassis for 7 months and didn't do a thing. And they're telling me, we'll have it done in 2 weeks. I heard that for 4 months straight.
Oh, that sucks.
Yep. And that's the reason why I need a front wheel, because while it was there, the front wheel got all pitted and rusted.
Damn.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Do you leave it sitting outside?
I don't know. I don't want to say Atomic Cycles out loud. That was the place that did this. So Atomic Cycles in Connecticut, don't recommend them for you to do anything for you. Except maybe ruin your project.
Slow down. Put a little crimper in it.
Yep.
So when's the goal to have the bike done by?
Well, the goal was to have the bike done for Daytona of this year. But that didn't happen. That was the goal, because I wanted to bring it down to Daytona, bring it to all the chopper shows with a QR code says you could win this bike, scan here to buy your entry tickets, because they're going to handle the raffle, Homes for the Brave. Because they're a not-for-profit organization in Connecticut, a raffle, something of that value, is gambling. So they can get the permits like that. Easy peasy. At little to no cost. So they're going to handle that. So all I'm going to do is bring it around, show it off, QR code, get your raffle tickets, boom. Support homeless veterans, buy a raffle ticket to win this bike.
Yeah. Well, at least you can shoot for Daytona 26.
No, I won't be done down Daytona in 26 because we're going to Sturgis in 26.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, but Daytona's earlier in the year than Sturgis.
Yeah, but it's a time and money thing. I only get so much time
that
off a year, and I only have so much money to play with. So
yeah, understandable. So is the goal you're going to take it to Sturgis then?
Hoping to. Probably going to bring Spaceball out to Sturgis. I don't know. You know what Spaceball is on my channel.
I haven't seen that. No, I'm not familiar with that one.
It is a 2020 Lowrider S. I'm the original owner of that bike, and I built a monster. I removed the factory installed 114 cubic inch motor, put that aside. Corey came down, Rody came down, and we installed a Harley-Davidson crate 131 motor. But before that crate motor went in, I voided the warranty on a brand new motor and went through it and threw out all the garbage Harley puts at it, and I put at good quality, good performing parts.
Got rid of the plastic in the heads and the lifters, and
well, I got rid of the let's see, everything from the cam bearing to valve springs. Replaced every bolt with an ARP stud. Custom made push rods, roller rocker arms. Cam I selected 70 millimeter throttle body, tunnel ram intake and throttle body, 8.8 gram injectors so I could run E85 in it. And once I put E85 and load that map, it's a completely different animal. It goes from 154 horse and 165 foot-pounds of torque. With E85, it comes alive at 180 horse, 185 foot-pounds of torque.
Damn.
Not bad for a naturally aspirated motor you could take out and just tear the snots out of. And it'll thank you for it when you're done.
Yeah. Sounds like it will. Sounds like it'd be a good time.
Oh, it's a great bike to ride. As a matter of fact, I was saying to Big Mike today, so I'll probably take that bike to work tomorrow.
Yeah, as long as, you know, they did some funky fucking engineering where they put fucking some parts in those that just don't deserve to be there, but, you know.
Like plastic fuel rails, plastic intake manifolds, plastic anti-rotational cups for your lifters.
Exactly. No few people that have lost those and been stranded on the side of the road.
Yes.
Why the hell would you put plastic inside a fucking engine? As components are important. Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
Yeah. Because it's, you know, you build to a price, not to a quality.
Or you build for production.
No, they build to a price. And then use that for production.
But, you know, Setzer Pendants had the same problem with his. It left him stranded multiple times, that 131, until he finally had the whole thing gone through and literally fucking fixed and got rid of all the plastic. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yes. I mean, I went as far as splitting the cases and sending the crank out to get it trued, slugged, and welded. Because I went with a compensator delete. I'm running a direct drive from the motor to the tranny, and then train drive from the tranny out to the wheel. Because I knew I was going to be north of 150 horse, and the way I like to ride, I would have snapped that belt. So,
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I built that bike with a purpose. I upgraded the brakes before the motor went in. The only thing I had not upgraded, I'm still running, and it's holding up beautifully, is the stock transmission.
Yeah.
I was running a stock clutch with upgraded springs and a variable rate pressure plate for about 5,000 miles. And then a friend of mine gifted me one of those Recluse Apex clutch systems. Hell of a gift.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And, you know, he got one for himself and one for me. So when I did his, it was like no charge.
Yeah. Yeah, those are impressive.
Yeah. And so now I'm running that clutch system. So now the only weak part in that bike is the transmission.
Well, knock on wood, it's treating you good.
Yeah. So
I know I'd read back on a forum, a guy decided to upgrade transmission. I don't remember it. I know his bike was all built. He went through all the spec sheets and bought the upgraded transmissions. And he went with like 2 or 3 of them, put the stock one back in, and he goes, "It's been fucking great." He's like, I spent money to try to upgrade to get a transmission that was more solid, and he's like, ain't none of them held up.
Yeah, I mean the Cairo treated, gears and all that have not been proven to be the ticket for big horsepower. Same thing with the back cut of the dog ears. It seems to be a little bit better, but not great. The big transmission company, they've been known to explode. So I'm just sticking with the OEM transmission that came in the bike.
Hey, if it's holding up and doing it, then yeah, just let a fucker ride.
Yep. Hello, XAN. Hello, riding on threes in Tennessee. Hopefully I get to see you down at Smoky Mountain Bike Week at the end of next month.
A Springer Mike hanging out.
Hey. Springer Mike.
He's a solid dude, man, over out of Gillette, Wyoming. He's actually moving down to Cheyenne here really soon.
No kidding. Right on.
I'll be damn good friends with him, man. I love that dude.
Right on, right on. Is Jamin in the house too?
I'm not sure.
Let's see. From the unaffiliated. Brian from the Bright Light Podcast is here. See what happens when you mention them? They just pop in. Like Beetlejuice, which is not a bad thing. Oh, Iowa Hog Riders here. Nice. Good to see
Bryce
you.
living his country dreams. If I can hurry, I can still make Cheyenne. There you go, Garth.
Hello, Mr. Phil B. Welcome to the show tonight.
So I know you're saying you got plans. You're going to hit Sturgis up next year. Got any, anything more on the table for, with the however your schedule's going to work for, events and shit going on?
Absolutely.
Yet?
We're going to be at Mob of the Mountains in West Virginia again. It'll be our 3rd year. It's a phenomenal time, great time. It's the rally, anti-rally kind of thing. It's an old school biker camp out, and we ride all day and sit around a campfire or a bar and have a good time at night, breaking each other's balls, and then go to bed and repeat next day. And you really can't go wrong with the roads in West Virginia. They don't know how to pave a straight road. It's awesome. I love riding out there. I really do. And Tennessee, I'm looking forward to getting out to Tennessee in about a month from now and hitting the Cherahole Skyway. Maybe
I'd
double
like to do
triangle.
that some way.
Yeah,
I want to get over there some point. Next couple years, be fun.
Yep. I want to hit the Dream Rides Tennessee while I'm there. They're right there too. So I want to hit. I missed that last year. I want to get there this year. Last year was my first time out at Smoky Mountain Bike Week, and I had such a great time. Hung out with a bunch of great people, family, friends. It was a great time.
Was that down in Tennessee or West Virginia?
That was Smoky Mountain Bike Weeks in Tennessee. Okay. West Virginia is Mob of the Mountains, which is a great time. Highly recommend it if you're going to head out east to an event. Highly recommend Mob of the Mountains. It has grown to multiple events throughout the country. There's going to be a mob in Sturgis in 2026.
Nice.
Good friend of mine, Drew from the Rolling Throttle Life, heads that up.
It's like you must be doing something right if you're growing and getting moving across different, through different events and areas of the country.
Yes. Yep. It is. In 2024, we went out for an event and we all hung out, and then we talked about, the Rolling Throttle tours. And that's when Mob of the Mountains idea came up, and we picked a weekend last year for this year. And, there we are. And here we are going into our third year of Mob in the Mountains in 2026. Looking forward to it.
That's cool.
Yep. And the event is just growing. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it must be. They really put it on for a few days.
Yeah, Evil Rick comes out. Jamin came out. Greg McBee came out. Stacy or Keltfire and Tom came. Fat Glide came out. Nori, Gliding on Twos was there. MC Crimson Glide was there. Meg's Motorcycle Journey and Mike were there. A couple guys from Sawiki showed up. Just the list just goes on and on and on.
That's cool.
Oh, the Behind the Bars 829 were there. So some of the best riding. Yeah, it's a great event. In 3 days we covered 700 miles. Or at least I did. Some people did more, some people did less. There's nothing mandatory. That's the beauty part. If you don't want to ride, you don't ride. If you don't want to ride in a group, you want to do your own thing, go do your own thing. Nothing is mandatory.
Go explore and just fucking have fun.
The only mandatory thing is no drama.
That's a good thing.
Yep. I made a creamsicle moonshine. I made a gallon of it, and that was almost gone. Guns and really enjoyed my creamsicle moonshine. So did Meg one night. She got trashed on it.
Well, if you're doing it right, But no, it's funny. You go to a place like that, whether you want to take off with a group or you want to go explore and just do your own thing, then, as long as you enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
The biggest thing. You go on some of these trips, you go travel somewhere, man. Make sure you're having fun and enjoy the ride.
Yeah. I put it out on Friday that, hey, tomorrow, Saturday, I'm just going to go do my own ride, man. Nothing against the group. I don't want to go mock Jesus. I just want to kick back, relax, enjoy the scenery, see the sights, and ride my ride, without a crowd of bikes and some people going to mock Jesus and blah, blah, blah. Because, it was like 60, 70 bikes. And honestly, I don't like riding in groups of people, right? So the next thing I know, there were 20 bikes joining me. It's like, okay, let's go. This is what we're going to do. This is where we're going. And have fun.
Yeah, that's the important part. Just enjoy it.
Exactly.
Plan your ride and ride your plan.
That's it, man. That's the best part.
It absolutely is. You get some of these rides, you get too many people, everybody's got different ideas, and it just can become a real pain in the ass. You're trying to figure out, you got to plan where you want to be, but everybody has different ideas. Well, it's cool, man. You want to go that way? Knock yourself out. My plan's this way, man. Y'all have fun.
That's the best part. That's the best part. When Big Mike and we go to an event together and we're there, we'll sit there. Hey, Mike, I'm headed here, man. He's like, all right, cool. I'm going that way. All right, see you later. Or, hey, I'm going here. Hey, mind if I join you? Come on along. Let's do it, man. All we know is at the end of the night, we end up at the same place because I'm staying in his RV. And we get up and go do it all over again next day.
There you go. As long as you're having fun, man, that's what it is.
Yeah. Evil Rick's got it right. Everyone had a good time. If you didn't, you weren't trying. And it's your own fault.
Valid.
We had the cops pull one person over. We had an engagement, and she said yes. And I said to her, why are you buying the pig if you just want a piece of sausage every now and then? It was just a great time.
That's cool, and you just get out and you just have, like I said, you had a good time. Everybody got together, everybody having fun, just enjoying the time.
Mike, Riding on Threes was there too. He had a great time. I know he had a great time. We went to the legendary Mothman Museum. Drew put that together for my wife because every time we go to West Virginia, all he heard about is she wanted to go to the Mothman Museum. So this year he put a ride together for us to go there.
There you go. Right on. So, well, shoot, man. Thanks for coming in tonight. It's like I go longer, but I'm about freaking dehydrated out in my shop because it's fucking the heat advisory got over here. It's 95 degrees out here, and I'm freaking dying. So, but no,
Yeah,
man,
right.
it was a good time catching up and hanging out. I'd like to go longer, but I'm freaking dying in this heat. I can't handle it much longer.
You need some air conditioning in there.
Yeah, for the 8 times a year that we need AC up here in the Northwest, but this last week has been a week 4 where it definitely would be nice to have air conditioning, but I will suffer through it for the few times and cooler temperatures in the forecast, but it is warm.
Yeah, right on, right on.
So, well, thanks for hanging out tonight, coming sharing some stories and just fucking talking shop, man. So,
Yeah, no
it's a lot of
problem.
good times, man. I have fun.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Heck yeah, buddy. Well, it's fun. Like, yourself, you're generally, a lot of the episodes, the Milepost, you're always in the side chat hanging out. It's like, dude, you got your YouTube channel, you enjoy riding, and that's where the conversation starts. We have that common ground. We enjoy motorcycles, and it makes it easy to talk.
I like motorcycles, motorcycle accessories.
There you go. So, hey, Ron, everybody, thanks for tuning in tonight, man. You guys all have fun, ride safe.